Hey folks, so what is up? This is One Big Bugga and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. And we're just going to continue on. We've only got about 560 kilometers to go in this. It would be nice to be able to throw an engine on here. And my sound's gone again. Hang on, because I know what causes that. Yep. And it's back. It's my USB connector that turns my headset into a surround sound headset. It gets knocked the wrong way and it can knock the sound out. Okay, we don't need you. And we're going to get load lag at the very beginning of the game as we load things in. We don't need our lights on anymore. This thing's heavier than I'd given it credit for. Or my engine's weaker than I thought. But still, we don't have too far to go. And with a little luck, we won't run into many toll booths or highway switches in this stretch of the run. With a little luck. Okay, last sign I saw... Oh, that's just a welcoming thing. Say, last sign I saw, if that's a speed camera thing, said 120. I don't think I have to worry. That one says 100. Also says that this lane shifts over. I might want to swap into the outer lane. That wasn't my fault. Not entirely. Mostly. Why don't we stay behind this guy? Who suddenly slams on his brakes. Killing all of our momentum. Boy, I just went silent all of a sudden, didn't I? I had a lot of thoughts running in my head today is why. Nothing big or major, just a lot of random thoughts. My mom, we're going to the doctors, her doctors, I believe it's on Tuesday, which is her birthday. So that's going to be interesting and a little bit rough, probably at the same time. Because... her doctor, I think, is one of those guys that after a little while of somebody complaining about something, starts just kind of like not taking them seriously. Like my mom brought in a list of stuff, you know, she made a list of things that were wrong, that were bothering her, she wanted to talk to him about, and he said, well, pick what's most important to you on there and we'll go over those, I don't have time. And whereas I can understand being busy, to some degree, when you're dealing with an elderly person, you have to have the time. You know, more and more medical facilities are limiting what can be done so that they can fit more patients and get more money. And in doing so, they're sacrificing the health care. Where I go, or where I used to go, the Maui Ikaola Health Center, and even Kaiser Permanente, were the two, the two big medical carriers in Maui are Maui Medical and Kaiser. And Maui Medical works through various clinics, where Kaiser is its own establishment. They limit doctor visits. Like if you go to the doctor's office, your time's limited to 20 minutes unless it's something serious. 20 minutes. You see, I don't get why it wants me to go down this road, why it says this road's faster, when it's just keeping me on the same road. Whatever. But yeah, 20 minutes. And then that's it. Well, what if you have a bunch of things that are wrong? What if you have things that take longer than 20 minutes? You know, God. Could you go slower? You know, there's a reason. There's a couple reasons why doctors and nurses don't stay very long in the various hospitals and clinics in Maui. Reason number one, cost of living. Because reason number two, they don't get paid enough. I know that sounds insane. It was a doctor. But trust me, unless you become very, very, very successful with your own office, which I've seen many offices for doctors fold, unless you become very successful with your own doctor's office, or you hook up with somebody who was successful with their own office, you're not going to make it. I went to several private practitioners with their own offices, and each one of them closed within a few months because of how expensive it is. And the clinics don't pay enough. The only place that might pay enough are hospitals, because the hospital, Maui Memorial Medical Center, gets big money. So it's quite possible that dude saw me moving over, was way back, and just kept coming. Downshift because we're on a slight uphill, so I'm losing speed. But yeah, you don't get paid enough money, and then when you take into consideration, they really try and shoehorn in as many patients as they can. Doctors don't get to spend as much time with their patients as they want to. I remember seeing my doctor, Dr. Laird, the last doctor I had before I left, for the very first time. He was very energetic, he was very happy, he was very go-getter, young doctor. Well, let's do this, let's try this, and do this and get these tests for you, and then when the very last time I saw him, you could see the energy was gone. He was drained. He wasn't happy. He was just kind of going through the motions, and that's how all doctors go in Hawaii. They start off very energetic, very positive, very up and at 'em, very let's go, and then they get into not getting paid enough to survive in any kind of comfortable situation, having to go from patient to patient to patient, getting in trouble if you spend too much time with a patient and not sticking to a schedule that they set out for you, and eventually they just quit and they leave the island and they go somewhere else in the mainland. It almost never fails. Oh shit. Too late for me to do anything. I can do something. No. We'll make it. Don't worry. Just holding up the highway behind me. Trying to pull my trailer straight enough that they can go. There we go. Okay, here we go. Here's our chance. Totally, perfectly legal there, of course. Yeah, we pulled it off. Good enough. Yeah, I've lost so many doctors just because they quit. You know, I come in. I'd like to make an appointment with Dr. I see, I had Dr. Richards, Dr. Wright, a couple others. Oh, yeah, sorry, their office isn't open anymore. Or, you know, I call a number, this number isn't in service anymore, and I find out the doctor's office isn't there anymore, it's shut down. Good God. Them hazards up. Call to the clinic where I'm going. And, yes, I'd like to schedule an appointment with Dr. White's not here anymore. She left. He left. Very rarely do you keep a doctor in Maui for very long. You just keep rotating out. You know, people probably think they get dreamed. Oh, you know, I'm a doctor in Hawaii. Woo! You know, they needed help, and I get in there, so I can get in, get my time, get practice, set up my own office. And some of them get in there and set up their own time, and you know, they actually manage to, you know, I'll just slug through this and I'll make it, and they eventually get everything they need, and they get a loan or whatever. They set up their own office, and then the office just collapses and fails because of how expensive it is. Electrical bills, property taxes, Medicaid doesn't pay enough, things like that. It's just kind of sad to see, you know. And now they're kind of making it a little bit more interesting, maybe a little bit more difficult. As I was leaving Maui, they were finally setting up a hospital on the west side of the island. Or maybe it was an emergency clinic, I don't know. See, the problem with Maui is if you live in certain areas, there's like no hospital or really equipped medical facility to handle emergencies. So you have to come over the Pali by ambulance in order to get to the hospital. Well, the problem with that is it's like depending on where you are, It's like a 45-minute trip, even by ambulance, to make it from um, you know you're going slow, you get passed by a bus. But it's like a 45-minute trip when you're going by ambulance across the poly. It can be like 30, 45 minutes. That's a long time in an ambulance. It'd be nice if I could just build, up ahead. If I could build up ahead of steam, and not have to climb a long grade. If I could do that, this wouldn't be an issue. I'm tempted just to keep it in gear here and see what happens because I'm climbing again. Give it a little extra boost, I guess. Even though from 1000 to 1500 is supposed to be your power boost, I find that if you let it go into the higher RPM, it actually works pretty well. So anyways, as I was saying, and now the second problem behind that is if the poly gets closed for any reason, and it gets closed more often than you think. Brush fires can often close the poly. I need to slow the fuck down. Yeah, brush fires can often close the poly. Now we're going to want to hit a steam for the hill. A bad car accident or truck or something like that can close the poly. And if the poly's closed, then there's really no way to the west side. I mean, there's the back road to the west side. But the back road to the west side is like an hour-long plus trip over a very narrow, often one-lane road that goes along a cliffside. Well, I had a head of steam. Isn't that the bus that passed me? No, it kind of looks like it, but I don't know if it actually is. So, if something like that happens that closes the poly, you're screwed. You're just 100% screwed. Because you can't get... you can't get to the hospital by ambulance, and you just gotta hope that they can airlift you quickly, maybe by helicopter. And even then, they don't have an actual medical lift helicopter. Where am I going? Look away for 1 second to adjust something, and that happens. But they don't have an actual medical lift helicopter. You'd be lifted in the fire department's helicopter, which can accommodate a stretcher in the back, but it's not an actually medical lift helicopter. Medevac ambulance. Oh, shit. I thought this was a highway. It is. Just, I thought it was a completely separate. I wasn't paying attention, obviously. But, yeah, we didn't do too bad dealing with it. Good, we got a nice long downgrade here, a little bit. No. So maybe we can build up a little bit of steam. So, having a medical facility in Lahaina, anyways, on the west side is actually a really good thing that people have been begging for some time. Wrong button again. Same bus. I'm almost sure of it. I don't know, dude. I'm actually starting to gain some speed here. But I'm on a long hill climb. No! And I gotta get behind him anyways. No, no, it's actually this way. God, those intersections are so confusing to me. Come on, baby, catch that bus back up. Pop outside the truck for a second. I want to take a side look. That is just awesome right there, isn't it? Honestly, I should take a picture of that, but we're coming up to a corner. He hasn't gotten away from us yet. Otherwise, I got work to do tomorrow. I got a thorough sweep and mop all the floors because it's a weekly thing for me to do. To really just sweep and mop the floors. Monday and Tuesday's laundry. If you know, in case it goes into Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday's laundry. This is a bad hill. But we're coming up it okay. We're almost at our destination. Yeah, this is going to be a short vid, but hopefully there'll be some American Truck Simulator with a surprise tacked onto it. Hopefully. What? This is where we're supposed to drop it off. In the middle of the highway? What the fuck? Is this right? It is. This is the drop-off spot. This is it. There's no way. It's not even giving me the option. I mean, I can try, but... No, that's not what I want. Take a look at that. Take a look. I'm actually supposed to be on the other side. I'm supposed to go beyond the guardrail. What gear am I in? Look at this. Even getting close to all this, unfortunately none of this is actually here. It doesn't give me the option. Now if I tap this guardrail, I bet it's here. I can't do it. I can't do this. There's no way. Because I'm supposed to be on the other side of this guardrail. And just look. There's no way to be on the other side of the guardrail. It's not even giving me the option to auto park. And I had that trailer in the spot. Wow. Wow. So I have to take a hit on this. It's the only way. It's the only way. I gotta take a hit at 12,000. Even though I delivered it. Alright. Considering everything, including where we are, which that was just insane. I'm just going to... Yeah, that just hurt. Where is it? Quick travel. We're going to head to our garage. That's just nuts. And beyond aggravating. And now I gotta sit here and rest, so we're hoping our other driver's doing work right now. Speaking, why don't we take a look? Yeah, he's working. Right. That just truly sucked. The impossible delivery. That's what we're looking at. The impossible delivery. Alright, we'll take this 8 tons. This doesn't go to the middle of nowhere, does it? It does. That worries me. Oh no, there's something there. I just can't see it. Alright. Well, that sucked. Delivery, an impossible delivery, and I should have gotten a screenshot of it. I didn't think of it. I even managed to back that trailer into the spot. It didn't give it to me because it was the wrong way. And that is an issue with Pro Mods. So, yeah, that was fun. Obviously not, but what can you do? Alright, folks, that's going to be me done for this episode. A little disappointing, but what can you do?